This is the finding the last occurrence of a digit. Who has problem with this? Which part is not clear? We have this number. Let's say you want to see the last occurrence of 5. At what position do we have the last number 5? That's what we are trying to achieve. Now, if you want the user to provide, let's say, these values, are you okay? Then in that case, you are not going to put it here. This is the one you are going to use in your for loop. You understand? This is what I did, but if you want the user to input, then in that case you will not use this. The user has to input, and this is where the user will put it. So I'll have something like this. And then the user will put in something here, so that you will find the last occurrences of, let's say, 5. So if you want it this way, then in that case here you will not hard code this in it. You have to take this one out, and you rather loop with this. So wherever you find list, it is this one you will use. Okay, let me get the last occurrence of. Okay, alternatively, what we can do is to have 2 parameters. Does that make sense? The number you want to find, and in which do you want to find it. I want to find the last occurrence of, let's say, 3 in the number this. Does it make sense? Yeah. I want to find the last occurrence of 3 in the number this. So in that case you need 2 parameters. One, the number you want to find, and in which do you want to find. That in that case you are giving that option to the user. You list your numbers and list what we want to find is last occurrence. So the user will provide the numbers he wants. Then he will say, okay, I want the last occurrence of, let's say, 3 in that list of numbers. So that is an alternative way of doing it, using 2 parameters. And last, I asked the difference between parameters and argument. Who did a search on it? What's the difference? Capsini one. Anything else? No, that's not a guarantee. You shouldn't talk. So how did you understand that explanation? So if I write something like this, this is my function, right? if I come here and I say echo let me see this, right? So I have this. This and this. Which one has parameter and which one has argument? Okay. Is the parameter. Okay. Okay. Who is not clear with that? So in that case, this one here is an argument. This is a parameter, and this is. Hey, no, I don't mean this. This one. This is an argument. Okay, this is for different function, right? No, it's not this. I'm comparing these two. So this is an argument, and this is a parameter. That's fine. So let's continue. It's like a function and method is the same. If you are using it in a class, you say method. If you are using it outside a class, then you say this is a function. So let's continue. I'm going through these ones because if you miss these concepts, then forget. There's nothing you can code. This simple loops. This, if everything you do, you will take decision. Everything you will do in program, you will take decision. So your loops, the if conditions, the for each, the while, do while, the switch case, these things you can't skip them. That's why I've listed several examples. At least by the time you are done going through, let's say half, you get the concept that this is how for works. So let's see this. We stop here, right? The mean and we're able to do the median is the middle. Is that it? So let's see if we had a code for it. Sorry, internally I'm struggling with the code. We are still fighting, so when I win it, I'll be fine. I've gotten code. If my voice sounds like I have tears in it, it's for a purpose. Okay, is that this? Yeah, I think this is where we ended. This is where we ended. Is it? Okay, if divided by 2. Yeah. Okay. So let's see this. This is the question. Question 6. We want to find mean for list of numbers will be given, and then we find the median and then the mean. So these are the two we want to find. And what's the formula for mean? Let me cut this one away so that we can start with that. What's the formula for mean? Just normal mean in mass. Yeah. The mean. Okay, it doesn't matter.
But when it's an big number, you add two numbers together and divide by 2.
Okay, we are talking about median, right? So the mean is the sum of the numbers divided by the count. So I will say sum of number divided by count. That's the number if you count them. So for example, if we are given this, then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the sum will be this plus this plus this plus this plus this plus this plus this. That is the sum. And then the count is just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So when we add this, what do we get? $13, right? 30. That's fine. And then the count is 7. 31. And the count is 7. So I'll call this one total is 7. So we are going to have 30 over 7. That will give 30 over 7. So that's 4.2 4.28 or something like this. This is the mean. Who doesn't understand this? The calculation I just did. Are we okay? So we are going to have that number in an array. Are we okay? So you just declare your array of this. Let me call it a list. And I'll have this. I'll paste the number in it. But this time, this is how it will be listed. We've declared our array. We've declared an array for these numbers. Who is not clear? And we know the count. So let's have a variable for the count. How do we get a count? Okay, yeah, for my eyes I can count. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, this is 6, this is 7.
I said we follow that array like using our eyes to just count them. Normal we run for the show we should move back once. Start from 0. The counting will start from
0. Okay. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've gotten my count. Is that it? Yes. Have you ever come across the size of? No, not you. I'm asking Abdul Basit. So last week we made mention of this function, size of. If you want to know the number of items in your array, you use size of. So it will take your array. That's all. So now this is giving us the number of items in our array. So instead of counting, this will give it. And when you don't need to recount. This will always fetch you the amount you want, or like the quantity you have to get. So what is the mean? Let's declare a variable for mean, and then is the sum of all the numbers, sum of the lists, sum of let's say items in list, divided by
the side of the zero is for numbers.
For array. Try the dot length. Try it on your machine. No, try it on. It's counting the number of things in the array. It could be string, it could be numbers, it could be anything. It's counting them. That there is 1 item, 2 items, 3 items. Are we okay? So the mean is sum of the items over the count. That is all. Sum of the items divided by the count. And that is the mean. So this is the same thing we did in a function. This time around we want a function to be able to do this. So you see function, any name you want to use. Let me say median mean. Okay, this is mean. Mean will take list of items. Let's do it inside first, and then you see how you remove the array from it. So our array will be this. Are you okay? And this is getting us the count of the things. Now we want to add, going through them one by one, and that's where your for comes. And we know the first structure. Part 1 is where are you starting from. So, and then semicolon will come. Where do you want to end? So we have end point, and then or people some can also say your condition to stop. So you have a condition to stop. Then the last part is let's say in what mode do you want to do it? Do you want to be skipping from 1 you go to 2? The array list, I'll come here, I'll come here, I'll come here one by one, or I'll start from here, I'll jump this, I'll come here, I'll jump this, I'll come here. Are you okay? So that is what they normally represent with this plus plus, to indicate you are not skipping anyone, you are just going one after the other. Is this your count is equal to count plus 1. So anytime increase the count by 1, and that is what you achieve with this double. So now let's get a variable to hold the start. So let's call it S, and we are starting from 0 because we are told array index start from 0. So, and the condition to stop, we are stopping when we get here, when we get to the last item, and this is the last item. The count, if it's 7, this will give us 7. So this is where we are stopping. Our S, so far as it's less than this, we will keep doing. When we get to this, then we stop, and then you increment this. Yeah, the S. Let me make it I. The S and the dollar, it's like they are from the same house. Let me make it this way. So now we've gotten the structure of the loop, the for loop. That's all. We just have to do this calculation we've done in it. So let's say total starting with 0. So for this, then we see total is equal to total plus our list. That is our array. So what am I spelling? LIST. And then we'll have I, something like this. We are going round. Are we okay? First of all, this one will be 0, and that means it's pointing to 3. Are we okay? So we are putting the 3 here. Then we are increasing this by 1. That is this indication. So now here will be 1. Then it will point to 4. Now we are putting the 4 here. Then we will come back and increase this by 1. That is it here. Here will be 2. Then it will now move to here. And then we'll come and add it to this. That is all. This is how you sum the things in the array. This is the same thing as writing total is equal to list 0. Are we okay? Let's see. Total is equal to total plus 0. Then you go to next line. Total is equal to total plus 1. You go to next line plus 2. So you are adding the array indexes, and that is what you represent in a loop, so that you will not go through these one by one additions. So now we've gotten the total here, and that's fine. So we only do let's see, return, and we know how we are using return. You can make it here this way, echo. You do it return if another function has to use the answer from here, or you want to use another calculation. So then we see something like this is total divided by, remember the formula here, sum divided by the count, and this is the count. That's all. So we've changed this one to a function using for. This is the mean. Just watch it well. It's the same math thing we've done. The sum of the items in the array divided by the count of the items, and it's the sum we have to achieve using the for loop. Who is not clear? Now let's see if it will give an error. If it doesn't, then meaning we are done. Let's test it here and see. So yes. Is the answer correct? Someone should do it manually. Someone should calculate let's calculate the mean manually. It's telling us something is not declared, but that's not what we want. The numbers are the undeclared list. It's saying there is a variable we've not declared. Undeclared variable. It's 6.2. The mean is 6.2. Let's see. So where is this error coming from? Undefined variable lists on line 73. Or maybe somewhere. Okay, this one. So is the figure right? So that is basically using the for loop to get the mean. And if you want to get the median, let's say we have these numbers. You want to get the median. How will you calculate it? The median. Or is it a difficult math? Median of numbers. How do we calculate it? Okay. Is it this way? So that is the middle number, right? And now item, if we can't find the middle, then that means we have to sum the two middle ones. Are we okay? Yeah, you have to sort it first. I'm sure the sending two should work. Yeah, if either ascending or descending, it should. Yeah, I know the ascending will work, but I'm looking at, for example, if I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I reverse it to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, the middle values will not change. Are you okay? So it just have to be sorted, either ascending or descending. I'm sure you should get to the value. So if you want to find median of list of items, first you make sure they are sorted. Are we okay? Now when after sorting them, then you find the middle one. But if you count the items and there's no one single one that can be middle, then add the two middle ones, find the average of the two middle ones. So if I have 1, 2, 3, the middle is 2. Are you okay? 4, 5, the middle is 3. Now if I go here, it's difficult finding the middle. The middle is somewhere here because it's 6. So in that case, I'll add these two middle ones and divide by 2. Are we okay? So let's see how we will achieve that also. Let's create let's say a function and call it median. So let's get our items. Let's see this, 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 and this. We have 5. if it's yeah, in either way it should be cheap. If it is odd, if you count the items and it's odd, then you just find the middle one. Are we okay? So how do you get the count? If you want to know the list of items in this, who can tell us how you'll be able to know? I want to know the number of items in this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yes, you use the size of. Are you okay? Yes. You use the size of function, the size of the array, the thing you want to find the number of items in it. But we have to put this into a variable so that I can make use of the variable to count. So now we've gotten the list of items. Is it odd? It's odd. So we will do the check. But if, let's say, from here is odd, so exactly the middle one will be the median. And how do we get the middle one? We know the number of items is this. We want to find the one in the middle. Yes, you just divide your count by 2. Are you okay? That is all. So I'll say middle is the count divided by 2. That is the middle. So if you equal the middle, your item, then the index will be this. That's all. We found the middle. The list of items, we've gotten the one in the middle. First, we have to know how many items are in it. And since it's odd, you divide it by 2 and then you get half. That half will give you the middle. Are we okay? Now if, okay, let's see what we are getting. So if I equal this, so are we okay? If not solve for another number, I'm solving for odd numbers. If I add another number, that will make it even. If not handle that, you see? Yeah, so let's add to, let's say this one and this. What is the middle one? The middle one is 3. So let's see what this is giving us. That is if the numbers are odd. Now if it's not odd, I mean it's even.
We made a point that the numbers should be sorted.
Yeah.
But the numbers are not sorted.
Yeah, they are not sorted. I'm just putting any value in it. But in real, if you are doing calculation, your numbers has to be sorted. And they will give you that assumption that either it's sorted, or if it's not, then you will have to sort it. Are you okay? If the numbers are not sorted, then you will have to sort it first. These figures I'm putting in, my concentration is just for us to get the middle ones. But this will not work. This will have come somewhere here. This will have come here, this one, and then this one too will come here. So whatever, okay. You can create your own. There are. Like is prime, you can get a function for. But those functions are what somebody has built, and then you are using. So you are also thinking how you are also doing your own. You get it? Hey, there are functions for sorting. But basically what you are doing is, if I have to sort this, or whichever function you are, there are so many types of sorting. So many, depending on the data you are having. But let's look at this one. I'll pick the first item. Are we okay? Then I'll assume, depending on whether I want it to be small to big or big to small, I'll pick the first number, then I'll assume this is the smallest. Then I'll pick the second number, I'll compare it to this. Which one is big? If what I have is big, then I'll keep what I have at index 1. But if this one is big, I'll change the index. If I give this assignment, I can take a month. Just to sort numbers. If you go home, give it a try. Numbers 1 to 10. Like, if you are giving, you should sort. Create a function that will sort them. Now, so that is it. If you are working, when you are giving the data, it will be sorted. If it's not sorted, they will tell you to sort it. So that is it. Because in maths, you have to sort them this way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the middle will be 5. So let's see what we are getting. 5. So that means it's working for odd. So now let's check if it's even. So when I come here, now that will depend on the count, right? So if the count mode 2 gives us 0, then that means an even number. So let me do this. It makes sense. Is it? Let's go to 0. Yeah, this is it. It should come here. It's go to. It hasn't changed. There's no problem with this. If it's not equal to, that means this is an odd number. Yeah. So we are maintaining this. So else, if it's not automatically, it's even. Now the even. Let me add 1. Let's say we have 10. So how do we get these 2? How do we get these 2? Let's say it's even. How do we get this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the 2 we want. So now let's see if it's 4 items. If it's 4 items, we want this and this. You know, this is half. Are you okay? Now if you come here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We want the middle 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is half of the data. So we want the item at exactly half position, and then half plus 1 position. Man, it doesn't make sense. Let's see it on the board. say I have a sliding rule. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I take this one out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we know the middle one is just half. But if it's even, you also see anytime you want the middle 2, you definitely need the middle one. Let's say when you divide it into 2, you need that value and then the value next to that value. So if this one is index 1, then this one will be index 2. If this is index 5, this will be index 6. If this is index 10, then this will be 11. And this will always give you the half of your array. Are we okay? So for even, we need the value at exactly half of the array plus the value at half plus 1. That is what will give you. That is the S part if it's even. So in that case, this is what is giving us the middle. Yeah. Are we okay? So we need echo this and then half plus 1. So plus this, it will now be this plus 1. The value at exactly half of your array, and then the value just 1, it plus that value plus 1. So this will give you the middle, and then of course you divide it by 2 to get the average. So you divide it by 2. So this will give you for even number, and this will give you for odd number. Who is not clear? Now let's see if we are on right track. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So for this one it was working all right. So 8, that would be this plus this, right? Divided by 2. So that's 6. So let's see what we are getting. 7.5. So let's see which ones it added. It did this. Okay, it will be this. So this should be minus. Yeah, this one and this. This is giving the middle. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so the middle is giving us the 7. Are we okay? This is what it gave. So instead of going here, this is what we need. We need these 2. So instead of adding, I'll rather subtract. And that should work. Is that right? Yeah, 12. So that is it. So far as the index is giving this the item at this position, that means you don't add. If you add, you are going forward. You have to come back and take this. So that is it for the median. Who is not clear? The whole thing is, if the number is odd, you just want the middle one. If it's even, you are picking the middle 2 and then add and divide by 2. And that is all. Is it? Okay.
7 will be the 4 index.
This is
0, 1, 2, 3, 4.
0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
The first thing you say count over 2. The count will be 8.
Yeah.
Yes. But
Over 2 is 4.
8 over 3 is 4. We are passing that index.
Also do minus 1.
Yes.
Yeah. So this makes sense because of the array. This makes sense. So that's it for mean and median. Now let's see more. Print some. I think this one too. This is the one that Zach did, right? This is the one you sent to me. Yeah, we want to. Let's say we are giving these numbers, right? The even numbers, we want to add them, and then the odd numbers to add them separate. That's what we want to achieve. So if you look at this one plus this, right? This plus this plus this. They are the even numbers. So we are adding those ones, and then this plus this plus this plus this plus this. They are the odd numbers. We are adding that one too. Are we okay? So let's just use this array again in our function. So let me just call it sum. You can decide to call it anything. So I have my array here. Now once you have to go through this, then you know you have to use for loop. Are we okay? You are using for because you know where you have to end. That's why we are using for. So let's get the array length, so or the items in an array. So I'm calling it count, which will be size of and then I'll have this. So I have this. Now I'm coming to go through this to the end, and for that you give a clue that we should use for. So for let's say I'm starting from 0. Under what conditions will I stop? It shouldn't be more than this. It should always be less than this. Once it gets to this stop. And what is our steps when going through the array? It's 1 1. Increment it by 1 1. Don't skip. So in that case, you will have I plus plus, and then you bring bracket open, bracket close, and that is it. You've gotten the for structure. So we are now coming to check them one by one. If it's an even number, you add it to an even number container. If it's an odd number, you add it to an odd number container. In that case, we need 2 containers. Are we okay? So I'll come here. I'll say let's say sum even, and then I'll have sum odd. I'm sure something like this. Let me see if this will work. It works in C++ that way. So it means a terminator. Okay. Other languages will allow you to declare the variables, and once you say it's equal to 0, meaning all those variables on that line will initialize to 0. So let's look at it this way. Now, if the value we are going to pick, so if the first value. And how do we get the first value? This is the value. You get it? If this first value mod 2, if it gives us 0, then it means that number is an even number. Then we add it to an even number container. If it's odd, then we add it to an odd number. Are we okay? Then the next one will be 1. That will be this. You will check, is it an even number? If it's an even number, you add it to an even number container. If it's an odd number, you add it to an odd number container. Then you come to the third items. So you go till you get to the end. And this is what is doing that counting for you. So this is what you'll be using. Instead of going to putting the value there 0, 1, 2, this will be doing that for you. So if this gives you 0, then in that case the value you have in your array is an even number. So you see some even, then we have some even plus the number at the position when you found it. So something like this. That's all. And there's no number like in between. If it's not even, automatically it's odd. So else you will have this. Then you have odd. So this will, and you have something like this. That's all. So we can come out of the loop. We did the calculation in the loop, so we are coming out of it. This is where it ends. And outside it, we can display our sum of even. This is concatenation. So we are concatenating it with the value we are getting from here. And then you terminate it. And then what is that? ODD should be, that is off. ODD should be odd. So that's it. Yeah. So that's it. We are done. It will add all the even numbers in the array, and then it will also add all the odd numbers in the array. Now let's see what browser will tell us. Okay, we've not tested, so let's how do we call it, sum. So let's test what we have now. This should go away. Then we can have this. Undefined variable. It's getting the values and it's telling so many stories again. So let's see the stories first. The undefined variable sum even. So sum even sum even sum even sum odd. So what is wrong with it? on line 150. Some even, some even. Yeah, it's all highlighted too. So that's it. It was waiting for the initialization. So this is it. It has the even numbers in your item, the odd numbers in your item. And if, for example, if I give you this list, let's try this. Let's add the multiples of 3. Let's sum the factors of or like the multiples of 3 in this. Yeah, let's try it. The same steps we use for this. Now we want to add all the multiples of 3. Let's give it a try. I hope everything is on the screen. So that same logic, but this time we are checking for multiples of 3. And that same thing, you can be asked to sum, let's say, the prime numbers in it. how do we get multiples of 3? Yeah, not just so. If 3 can go into that value without like a remainder, then it's a multiple of 3. So here, instead of checking for mode 2, you are checking for mode 3. That is the only thing changing. So in this case, we don't need the else part. Are you okay? We are only checking if it is, we add it to our container. There's nothing to do at this part. Are you on track, please? Yes. Create any array of values and use. And then make sure there are multiples of 3 in it. Now you can pick and sum. It's working. Okay. Are you done? Why? Are you echo it? No message come. It's giving error. That is understandable. Are you done? You got it? Do the start this. That will be the next one. It's the same thing, like you'll be given a list like this. So like how many 3s are in it, or like how many 5s are in it, something like that. The same concepts. The multiple of 3 is done. So start this. Let's say how many 3s are in this list. 10. Let me just look. It's yours working. Avella. The multiples of 3. It's working. What is it saying? Undefined variable. Outside the function. You are done. What do you return? So once here, then this is where it ends. So you come here. Yeah, so you come and put it inside the function. Agile programmer, where have you reached? Is there any other Agile programmer here? She's also Agile programmer. Okay. Oh, I always think it's you. Sorry. Are we making progress? Not only few things are changing here. You still need this. You still need this. This one will just be only one. So you can decide to maintain this and this, or you clear this and declare your own variable. Everything here is you are maintaining. Here is what will change to 3. You don't need this part. And then maybe you echo here. That's all. That's all. We are not using the odd. So I can say multiple. So multiple is equal to multiple is equal to multiple. That's all. This is what we want to achieve. Is it working? What error message are you getting? This is the whole show. This is just everything you have to do. Abdul Basit, you're getting errors. virus is not working. They are not the same. The virus, there is not working. They are not the same.
Just this one, I thought.
No, that one is inside the function. So you are now going to display it out. You are done. Hey. This has never spent a night in my hand. The arrays we have, the one, yes, that is 1 to 5 around 8. Makes sense.
The next one is the number of times we count. Some of them are connected.
It's what we count.
number of times you check.
Have you been able? The count of items, have you been able? Even. Now let's see the count of items. That same structure we are coming to use. So let's see function. I'm calling it item count. Let's say I have my array, and then I have this. I want to see how many 2 or 3 are in this array. Are we okay? I need to know the length of the array, the number of items in it. So count, which is equal to size of, then the array. So now the rest is my for structure. The I should be less than the length of my array, and I'm going to increase it this way. So this is it. Now let's say I want to see how many trays are in it. So I'm just going to loop. If I found 3, then I'll record I've found 3. Then I'll keep looping. If I found another 3, then I'll increase my counter. I've found 2. That is just all. So let's declare a variable to hold the number of times you'll be seeing it. So let's say found. Let me call this found. Initially 0. Are we okay? So if the number I'm to find No, what another day? Okay. Now this is it. This is the structure. Now the number I want to find, let's put that number here, and then let's say number. Let's say it's equal to 2. So if that 2 is the same as the item I'll find here, and that item will be my array, and then the index. So if my number is equivalent to this, then that's all. I've found one occurrences of it. So I'll increase my found by 1. That's all. So if I come outside my for loop, I can return my count, or like found. And this one, you know, it means this, we are incrementing it by 1. It's the same as doing this. I'm incrementing it by 1. So that is it. That is all. So whatever is in this, after you are done looping, is the number of times that item has occurred in your array. Malik, are you clear? We are not. Assuming this is it. You know how to create a function structure. So I'll create function, then I'll say let me see, item count. This is the function structure. So I have an array. Let me steal from here. So I have this array. I want to count the number of times an item like let's see, 3. The number of times 3 appears in this array. That's what I want to count. So I'm going to go through the array. So it gives a sign that I'm using for loop, and I'm using for because I know where I'll end. Where I will end is the count, which is equal to size of my array. This is where I'm going to end. I'm going to loop through till I get here. This is the maximum items in the list. So my first structure, just like any other, I'm starting from 0. That is from this. I'm going to go through each until this one, until I get to this item. And this is how you do that one. This will keep going on so far as it's less than this. So that at first round, this will be 0. It's less than this. That means it has to go over again. It will go to next item. This will be 2. This will be 3. This will be 4. It's still less than the count. So until I get to the count minus 1, basically. And then I'll increment it by 1. Anytime you have to work with array, for this structure you can't mix it. This is how the structure will be. To loop using the for, if it's array, you need to know the number of items in it. So that will warrant this. And then you need to get your array, and this is how the array is declared. So now I want to find the item 3, and this is the 3, right? So if my 3, if this 3 which is inside this, if it's the same as this item, then I've found it 1 time. Are you okay? And how do we get this? This is the index 0, right? So if it's the same as this, if the tray I want to find is the same as this, then I need a container to count to indicate that I'm finding an item. So I'll say found is equal to 0. This is just a container. So if this is equal to this, I'm increasing this by 1. That I'm increasing it by 1. If this is equal to this, which is this, I'll increase this one again. In that case, here will be 2. Now, if this is equal to this, then I'll increase this again by 1. That will be 3. If it doesn't match, because there is an if there, so if it doesn't match, it will not add anything to the container. And this, I said, is the same as you writing found plus 1. So we are always incrementing our placeholder. This is what is keeping track of the number of times you found the item. So if this one is equal to the first item, then increase it. If it's equal to the second item, third item, fourth item, fifth item, this way. And that count, that is the I. It is the I that is moving from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So basically that is all. So once you get to this point, then you know whatever value is inside the found, that is the number of times the 3 has appeared in your array. Or if it's 2, that is the number of times the 2 has appeared in your array. I should go over again. Okay, so if I close this and I say the number of times, let's say even numbers appear, let's do it. Let's say you have an array, you want to see the number of times and even numbers, the number of even numbers in it. Let's do it. This is it. This one came in because I need something to count the number of times that item has appeared. That is why I introduced this variable. And this new variable is the item I want to find its occurrences. This is straightforward. Yeah, this one is easy. We've done this, so that should go away. I think that 10 to we've done it. This one. Anyone, if you are done, then you go home. This one. And if you say this complex word, palindrome, for example, 1, 2, 3. If I'm adding from here to here, what will I get? No, you should read the same from both sides. Are you okay? If you are reading from the beginning to the end, it should be the same as reading from the end to the beginning. That is what makes such a number a palindrome. So you should be able to read from the beginning to the end, and then end to the beginning. It should be the same. Yeah, I think it's addition. Let me see here. Palindrome or drawn or Yes, a word, a phrase, or a sequence that reads the same, backwards or forward. So if you spell the word madam, whichever side you start from is the same madam. Are you okay? If you spell from the forward to the from first index 0 to index x, it reads madam, and if you have to start from back to front, is the same. Nessus run. Yeah, Nessus run. If you have to start, is NURSESRUN. Yeah, it makes sense. So if you type Nessus run, either from first to end is Nessus run, from end to first is also it reads the same, Nessus run. So whatever figure you are given, you want to check and see if it's the same. So let's see. Integers. I want to see if you can get some integer. Yeah, so see a number like this, 16461. Whichever side you read it is the same. Are we clear? 16461. If I start from the back 2, is the same 16461. So that is why you want to check. It's the same as the madam. So let's write a function. When you input something, it will tell you this one is palindrome or it's not. If you are there, you can go home. You see? No, do this. Yeah, do this one instead. The index is just like the count. So if you are not able to do the count, you wouldn't be able to do the index, the even numbers. But once, if you've been able to do that one, the counting the number of even numbers in it is easy. So let's see this one, the palindrome. Well, I hope it makes sense. Nessus run. There are so many words like that. Redivider, null, civic, reader, level, root, kayak, reviver. You should be able to accept both. Either number should work, string should work. Reader, madam, refer. And you see this one too, race car. Yeah, if you start spelling from back, you still get race car. Or you prefer this? From the last. See something. Let's say if I do 4, I is equal to 0, I is less than or is equal to 10. You get it? I plus plus. So I have this. If I say echo so let me comment whatever is here. So you see, that's fine. So if you see 0 to 10, now if I come here and I say we are starting from 10, you understand? Less than should be less than. So this should rather be greater than 0. You get it? Then I'll be decreasing. Your machine. What is wrong with them? Shit. Definitely there is a problem, but those to work. Sometimes maybe below it is rust, and sometimes it's possible the bars move the check and see. I think you should be able to replace. I'm really looking at I think it's possible to recode it. I think it's possible to recode it. So we can move the shift to another key. So when you press that one, then the shift to another count. Yeah. There's check that and see. Then, so a minute. So it's now from 10 to 1. You get it? So this will make it from 10 to 1. There's nothing wrong with that. You understand? But it's like from scratch we are not thinking. That's what I want to avoid. And there are so many functions to get the last item in the array, to remove an item from an array. There are predefined functions you can use. And not only PHP, any language you go, there are predefined libraries for that. But I really prefer if you think around the code behind these functions first. You get it? Like there is a count, or like the dot length, or like the string length. You are basically doing count. So there are so many functions to achieve that. But I want us to see the code behind it. I want us to see the code behind it. So like how to check if a number is prime. And you see, you get the function, but this is the code in that function you are using. And that's what I want us to get. So for the functions, there are plenty. All languages come with that functions too.
Someone knows it. If it's a number, you should be able to check. And if it's like a figure, maybe string,
Yeah,
you should be
you
able
should
to
be able to check. The palindrome. Yeah, we should. Like madam, from here to here, you see one from here to here. Sure. Sure.
I told you something about this to me.
The whole thing is the value I'm giving you, you are reversing it, then you compare it with the original. That's the whole thing, this palindrome or whatever it is. Whatever number I've given to you, reverse it, and I'll compare with the original if they are the same. The problem, you know how to go about this. Let's say you can use an array. You can also use just a normal integer. It will work. Let's say, for example, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. You get it? This is the original. This is the original. So then I will now reverse this one. You get it? So I can create an array. Then I'll put the last one will come first. The last but one will follow. The last but two will follow. Then at the end you reverse the number. Now when it's reversed, they can compare this and this. If they are the same, if they are the same, then it's palindrome. If they are not, then it's not. That's the good thing. You have a number, then you keep the original. then this one you reverse it. And when you reverse it, compare it to the original. Are they the same? That is all.
Well, in this case, I mean like specifying some numbers and using them for.
Yeah, it's supposed to take any number at all. Let's say you use this one for text. But when you are done and you take this one out and put it in, they should be able to work. For example, 121. If I read from here, it's the same as reading from here. So I'll put this one in a container A. That is the original container A. Then I'll reverse this. The last one will come first. This one will come. This one will come. Now when I'm done, this will be in container 2. Then I'll compare this one. If container 1 and container 2 are the same, then the number is 100. So the challenge is how to reverse the number you are given. Once you are able to reverse it, then you compare with the original you've been given. That's all. How is it going? This is good to challenge. This is good to challenge. Ansura, are you on track? Now let's see if this key will help. Let's look at this. I have this number 1, 2, 3, 4. How do I get the last number? Yes. How do I get the last number? Yes. I'll echo index. That means I'm considering it as an array. You get it? That we have to consider this as an array. Then, or like a string. If you make it a string, you can go through as an index array. You get it? So that is one way. If I assume this is an array, so something like array if I make this an array, then I can have this as array and into bracket. Now let me just consider a string. String 2 I can look through. So this will be string and I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I want to get the last one, what do I do? This will be index 0, right? 1, 2, 3. So I need the last index. Are we okay? I need the last index. So if I have a container here, I'll say copy. I'll just pick the last index. And the last index is the size of my array. This is it. The size of array. So I'll have this one. This one. So copy minus 1. This will give the actual. So I want the last, so it will be minus 1. This will give me the last item in the array. The length as an index minus 1 will give me the last item in the array. Are you okay? I need this. This is index 0, index 1, index 2, index 3. So if I want the last item, it will be the length minus 1 because the counting is starting from 0. So that is it. The length minus 1 will give me the last item. Now if I want the last but 1, then here will rather be minus 2. That will give me this. Now if I need this, it will be minus 3. So I can be looping through this, but this time I'm not starting from here and then going. I'd rather start from the end and be reducing. So anytime you pick the item, then you add it to your container. You pick, you add it to your container. Any variable at all. Any variable you will Now, see this mass also. If I have this, you know this number, move 10 will give me the last number. It brings us there. So let's do it. So that is, without even using an array, that's how you get the last number. This number, mode 10. Any integer you are giving mode 10 will give you the last number. So when you get that last number, you put it in your container, your variable. You get it? Then you make sure you take this one off. Then you look for this one mode 10 again. That will give you the 3. Then you add a 3 to your container. Then you take this one off. You will be left with this. You find mode 10 again. That will give you 2. But do you get the basic fact that any number mode 10 will give you the last number? Yeah, mathematically, and if you do it mode 10, you get the last number. Like 10 goes into this one, 1, remainder 2. So this will be the last number. If whatever the number, 2, 2, 5, 8, 3, 4, 9. If I do mode 10, I'll get 9. Because if the 9 is up to 10, then that will be 0. Then 10 can go. So if I want this last number, I'll just do this number mode 10. It will give me 9. Then I'll put that 9 in my container. Let me see. It's a variable if I say container. So my 9 is in it. Now, if I want to take away this number, what would I do? I have this number. I don't need the 9. Come on in. Mode 10. I don't want it. Now I want this. I want to achieve this. How do I get rid of the last number? For 4. No, this scenario is not looking at an array. We are using the modulo.
The number minus.
There is I multiply. Let me reduce it. Let's say I have 5,008, right? I want to get 5,000. What will I do to this number to get 5,000? 5,000 minus 5,000 minus 5,000 mode 10. 5,008. 5,008. So this will give you 9. Yeah, it makes sense. So this will give you the 8, the 5,000, right? So you keep repeating these two things until you get to the last number. It shouldn't be difficult. 5,000 minus 5,008 10. No, I think this will be wrong. You will get 5,000, but we need 500. Or have you realized this? I just rechecked, this will be wrong. Because this is taking 8 out of this. And if you take 8, you don't get 500, you get 5,000. But we want to take that whole number out. You get it? This is tens, is it ones, thousands, 10,000. So you want to take that 10,000 whole part away. still struggling. Okay, maybe places in the morning. Isn't the question? You just really look at it. Divided by 10. What are you going to get? Is it? No, you just want to take the last one out. So that will make a point here. You get it? So you can find to throw away the other part. That doesn't make sense. You want to throw away this part. If you divide by 10, it will move a decimal unit. So then you throw this part away. Is that like that? So there are two things you'll be doing. One, you take mode 10 of the number. That will give you the last digit, right? When you are done, then the number you divide by 10. Do that simple division and see something. This divided by 10. No, use the computer. Is it? Yeah, no, use the calculator. Don't use the computer, use the yeah. 0.8. And I'm saying do that division with. We
should divide it by 10.
Yes, use the PhD to divide and see something. Echo 5008 over 10. Yeah, that is what you should give to. But I'm looking at there is integer division. If you do integer division, it throws away the decimal parts. Are you okay? If you do integer division, there's no decimal in it. So automatically it throws away the decimal parts and you get your value. Because this number has to go away. So I can take root 10 of this again. And that one will go away, take root 10 of this. That one should go away and take root 10 of this. You add it to your container. When you add it, then you compare the two. The original plus the one you reversed. Set for integer division, PHP. something like this. Hello. Okay, there is let's see here. So you have equal and 508 divided by 10. This gave the 0.8, right? So if I do this answer, if I floor it, and then let me see what I'll get. Okay, so I think we've gotten it that way. You get it? This is giving us this, but we don't want this floor. That will cut through away the decimal part. So that should give you the new value you want to take. So this one, you take mode 10 of this one again. You get it? First of all, we took mode 10. First of all, we took mode 10 of your value. So if I have this, let me see, number is equal to this. Then I'll take mode 10. So if I equal my number mode 10, I'll get the last number. So this will give me the last number, which is 3. So I'll put my 3 in a container. So let me see, let me call that container reverse. So this is equal to 0. So instead of this, I'll put this one in it. You get it? When I put mode 10 of this in it, then I have to take this one away. And to take it away, that is where you will floor this. If you floor this is a function that takes away the decimal part. So now this will go away and you'll be left with this figure. So in your second loop, you take a modulo of this again. That will give you 2. Then you add to this. Then you floor it. Then that will take the 2 away. In your third loop, you take mode of this. You get it? If you take mode of it, you get 4. You put the 4 in your container. And then you floor the number. That will trim this away. So those are the 2 things you'll be doing. You take modulo of the number, you save the answer, then you trim the decimal part away. Then you get that number minus the last one. Then you repeat it in a loop. Now there is another thing here. If you are putting it here, it will be adding. But that's not what you want. This is the first one, 3. If I put 3 here, in my second loop, if I bring 2, it will add it to 3, making it 5. But that's not what we want. We want the 2 to stand. The 3 should come and attach to it, so at the end we can check. And how do we achieve that?
The reverse equals an array.
Yeah, we can be pushing these ones into an array. Then we output the array. That will also work. this reverse can be an array. Then you can, in that case, this has to be a you have to treat this as a string or an array so that you can index it. Now see something. If I have this, if I have 2, if I want to get 29, right? If I have 2, I want to get 29. You know, if you bring the 9, it will turn to 11. But that's not what we want. We want to get 29. So before I'll add to the 2, I'll multiply the 2 by 10 and then plus 9. And that will give me the 29. Are you okay? I have 2. I'm bringing 9, making it 29. I'm not coming to add the 2 to make it 11. So if I have 2 and I want to add the 9, just attach it to it. I'll multiply this by 10 before I'll add the 9. Then that will give me the 29 or the 29. And this one is the division. You will divide. So these are the 3 things that will be going on in your loop until you end your array. So I say whatever, if you use the array or use the normal numbers. So when you come out of your loop, you are now comparing this one and the original number. If they are the same, then it's palindrome. I want us to get the operation going on. Those 3 things you have to do in your loop. 1, to get the last number, you mode whatever you have, mode 10. That will give you the last number. So you put that last number in your container. Then you divide by 10. If you divide by 10 and you floor that answer, it will take away the last number. So when that last number is gone, then you've come here. You have to start the modulo again. You modulo your this by 10, and then that is the loop you'll be going through. Yeah.
In the case where this number
Okay.
is in the case of the madam, like what we did.
Yeah.
You know, the madam when you spell it from
Yeah.
backward, also do the same. So with that, how do you handle it? Because it's like I'm considering that because we are using numbers, that you have been able to multiply the 2 by 10 and then you add 1 to get 29.
Yeah.
But if it is in the case of string, what
In the case of string, you can use the array because you can use multiplication.
well, that was why I was like, this numbers you can make it like a string.
No, I didn't deny that. Right? You said array, and I said, yeah, you can do it with array. So if you want this number, you can treat it as an array. It will be like a string array. Then you have the indexing. And I did it on the board. If you are echoing, you echo the last one first. Then you echo the last but 1. You echo the last but 2. That is how you'll be pushing it into another variable. Then I'm trying to split the thing into 2. Do we understand what you're supposed to do? You don't understand what you're supposed to do. What we want to do is, let's say if I have this 1, 2, 1. This is the left side, right? So if I'm counting, it's 1, 2, 1. If I start from the back also, it's the same 1, 2, 1. So any number you are given, you want to check and see whether if you are counting from the front, it's the same as counting from the back. That's just what you want to check. So this one, for example, If I do 3, 4, 5, 4, it's not the same as 4, 5, 4, 3. But 1, 2, 1 is the same as 1, 2, 1 from the back side also.
So I understand. But when you're echoing, how is it supposed to come? You're supposed to add or come in the same 1, 2, 1.
You will keep this one first of all. This is what you've been given. You keep this in a container. Let's say I'll call it copy 1, right? Now then this same one, I'll reverse it into another container called reverse, or whatever name you want to use. You get it? Now if I reverse this, in that case the last, let's use this so that it makes sense. I have this. Now if I reverse this, you know this container will be this one will come first, the 4. So I'll get 4, 5, 4, 3. That is here. If I reverse, this is what I'm getting. So now I'll compare this and this. Are they the same? If they are not the same, then it's not palindrome. If they are the same, then it is. So the headache is how to reverse this. That's what we are explaining. How to reverse this so that you can compare it to the original you've been given.
If you use the arrow, and say maybe the user is going to input something,
Yeah.
and it happens that when the user is inputting is the number, or you use arrow or string, so means you have to find a way of converting the inputs into strings and array.
Yeah. You know, that is the favor the PHP normally give us. If I see this, if I see this number, if the person put something like this in it, it can still handle it. So in your function, you start looping it direct. Alternatively, you can also get the array outside your function, then you pass the results into it. Then your inside function will work with it. So let's see. Let's say function is, how is the spelling? So now this is what I have. Let's say I've been given a number. Let's start from where we know. Then we can go to original is 121, right? Original is this. Now I want to reverse this. So I'm going to reverse it into a container called reverse. Are we okay? I'm going to put it into this. So what I'm going to do is, starting from this number, I'm going to module it with modulo. Now this one I can use for. Are we okay? Because I'm treating it as a number, not a string that I can index the arrays and notice the last. I'm going to use it the number, so I don't know when I'm going to stop, exactly how many counts I have to do, but I know this number definitely should be more than 0. Are we okay? So that is my condition. So while this number is greater than 0, then I'll be doing my things in it. So I will do a reverse of this. The modulo will come here, so I will have this reverse. It's equal to this number modulo 10. So this will push this last number here. Come again. It's still confusing. But you understand why you need these two variables. You want to reverse the other one into this. So this is it. You know, I'll be reducing this one by the last number. So if it's less than 0, then meaning I'm getting to the end. That is what this condition is doing. So I want to get the last number, and this is what will give me the last number. I'm putting it here. Let's see something. Or let me come outside. If I do this one, or let me maintain my variable. So this is it. So if I echo this number mode 10, let's see what this will give me. So if I come here, I have to test it, right? So I'll say echo is this. Syntax error variable for what did you say? Unexpected $sign. Line 42. That means somewhere up here. This is it. $142. So 142, line 142. Okay, I think these guys are redundant. Let's take them off. So you see I'm getting 1. Yeah, if you say mode 10, you are asking yourself, when 10 goes into that number, what will be the remainder? So that should be 1. If I have this number and I ask you, this number mode 10, what will be the last number? I'm asking you, 10 goes into this number, what will be the remainder? It will still be the 1. Because if it's 10, then here will change to 0. If it's 9, so whatever the last number is, that is the output you get. So this number mode 10 will give 9. That means 10 can go into this number several times, we don't know, but there will be a remainder of 9. And that is what you are using to get the last number of whatever you are given. So if we test this, we should get I've not saved, or I've saved. Okay, I think it exceeded integer limit. That is why it wasn't okay up to this point. It's still, yeah, it exceeded integer limit. That's why it's throwing out things unnecessary. So this is fine. So whatever the last digit is it? Whatever the last digit is, if you do mode 10, you get the last number. That's why I did it mode 10. If you do mode 5, you will not achieve it. For example, if I do this mode 5, the answer will be 3. You understand? But it's the last number 8 I want. So the only option you have is the mode 10. It's still strange.
If you add additional numbers
No, it shouldn't give if you haven't reached the maximum of integer limit.
What is the limit?
This is
for integer?
it depends on which language you are using. So let's say, but integer is mostly somewhere 2.04 billion. Yeah, 2.1. This is integer limit. Which one didn't come?
It's more than
It's more than that.
How many?
Okay, then when you sum it,
So let's see. So 3, 9. This is 10. Let's see something here. This is supposed to give us 8. So if I bring this, it's supposed to give us 4. If I bring this, it's supposed to give us 6. If I bring this, it's supposed to give us 8. Now, if I bring this, it's supposed to give us 9. Yeah. So 1, 2. It has reached limit, so it's producing any of the memory spaces. Like it's now confused. It's
Suppose you don't know the limit of integer.
you don't know that. Then you have to maybe convert it to double. Double can handle more than this. But double too has decimals in it, so unless you find your way around it. This one.
the zero of the 9, you change it to 0.
This one.
Yeah.
You get 0. So if you make here 3, it's more than the integer, right? It's more than the integer, so it's confused. It's even bringing negative.
But once it's 2, you can keep adding now.
You see?
Once that made it 2.
No, these ones can change, but if you add another digit, it should be more than. You've exceeded your integer limits. You see? So any of these ones can change. But once you exceed here to 3, you exceed the integer limit. So it throws any value. It's like you chop into another memory space, and that's the value it's giving you. It could be some Excel you've saved, it could be some values you've typed somewhere. That's what it's producing. Some other languages actually give you an error that are like out of memory space, or like you are exceeding your range. So this is mode 10 will always give you the last number, and that's the only trick we are using. No wonder today I was late. It's not waking me up. Look. Please, are you okay? So the first trick we are using is to get the last number, and we know mode 10 will give us the last number. Now, if mode 10 gives us this last number, let's say 4, you get it? So now we push the 4 into our reserve value. So let's say we put in the 4 here. If you are in a loop and you don't find a way to do away with this, that means it will always give you that 4. So you have to find a way to take away that last number and throw it away. After you have done the module to get the last number, find a way to throw that number away so that you can come to this. When you are done taking this, find a way to do away with this 8, and then you come to this. That is just what we are doing. So after taking this, let's say if I put it inside here, you get it? Yeah. So now here will be 4. So our first loop here will be 4. But if we leave this 4 there, it will always continue to be 4. So how do we get away with this? You get it? Then we have to divide this by 10. And that will put a decimal point at this place. Then you floor it. It's like you trim that decimal part away. So after putting it into the array, then the next step is for you to floor this. This one is a trick you are using to take away the 4. So that is it. You floor it. Let's use the value here. Original. It's an inbuilt function for PHP to throw away the decimal parts. Are we okay? Some other languages, once your numerator is integer, your denominator is integer, automatically it throw away that part. Are we okay? But PHP is not having that specific data type, so it gives you the exact answer it deserves. So these are the 3 stages, or the 2 stages we have to go through. One, we have to take mode 10 of the number to get this. Now here is 4. The next stage we want the 8, and to do that I have to throw this one away. How do we throw it away? This is what we need to throw it away. You divide by 10 and then you floor it. So when your loop comes again, this time this original number will not have the 4, so it will give you only the 8. Are we okay? So that 8 will now come and then add. But the challenge here is there was 4. It's now bringing 8. This will give you 12. But that's not what we want. So that is why whatever number is there, you multiply it by 10 before you add your value. Times 10 before you add the floor number you are bringing. I've wake up.
This sentence. So you still have to keep doing it.
Yes. This 2 will be in a loop. Doing the modulo, doing the flooring, and then multiplying. These 3 activities will be in a loop. And you'll be doing until this one gets to 0. Because the last number will keep going away. This way, this way, this way, this way. Until you get to the final. It takes away the decimal parts. Let's see something. this number, let's say this number divided by 10. What is equal? You see, it's giving you points, but you don't need the 8. So that is why if you floor it, is it R? Floor. So if you floor it, then you get your number minus that last digit. Then you get this. So that is the whole thing we've done. The 3 things. 1. Yeah. Come again. This one. After multiplying by that, okay. Yeah, you are going to, but not in the concept of like addition. Just want to, attach to it, like maybe concatenate, something like that. You get it? But this is numbers. That's why we couldn't use the concatenate. So this is what we have to do so that that number will be attached to it. If you multiply that number by 10, then that will be 20. So when you add that last digit, then you get it. So these are the 3 things that should be in the loop. So it will keep going. So let's do, so while our condition, this value, whilst is greater than 0, we'll be doing this. Whilst this is greater than 0, we'll keep doing this. So when you are done, whatever value is inside here, then you compare it to the original. So if this value is equal to this, then the number is palindrome.
But
yes.
How can it be equal to it? Because this one is starting from the back, this is starting from the front. So the quality.
No, the one starting from the back, you reverse it into an array or like into another variable. So they can be equal. For example, this one, this is how it goes. Then after the reverse, you get something like this. You get 8, right? 6, 4, 8, 8, 3, 3, 0, 2. So these are not the same. So it isn't. But if you change this 1 to 1, 2, 1, and you still reverse it, you still get 1, 2, 1. And in that case, you'll be able to detect that this one is palindrome. Abdul Malik.
As the original is equal to the original times 10, where you draw this.
Okay.
There's not this. You brought using bracket before the class.
This way. Yeah, it's supposed to be this way. Like, who is not clear with your concept? The floor, if you divide the original by 10, you are telling it to throw away the decimal part, you don't need it. That's what the word floor is doing. Throw away the decimal part. Because if I divide this by 10, I'll get 12.1. if I don't throw the decimal part away, I will not get this 2 to take a modulo of it. I will not get this 12 to take a modulo of. So that is basically what we are doing.
So in this case, you can only check for numbers with this syntax.
Yeah, this will only check for numbers. The if test, you have to handle it as an array, a string array.
You move from one digit to the next,
Yes, you see, we are in a loop. So you'll be repeating the same thing. By this time, we went to the last digit. Pick the last digit, push it into a variable. Going to take last but 1, push it into the variable again. Now let's see something here. The original.
The reverse, why did you bring it again when you are looking for it in the one?
Come again.
So the root function is palindrome, and then you got the original, what? The one we are going to reverse.
Yeah.
Initially, the reverse was like empty.
Yeah, the reverse will be empty.
And if I type 1, 2, 1 there.
Yeah, someone asked a question. So I typed that one to explain. You get it? Someone asked how will we know. So I used another example. I typed some numbers and I typed some numbers here, and we saw that if you reverse, they are not the same. So I came back to type 121 and type 121 here to indicate that if you reverse this one, you will get the palindrome. It will be right.
So if you need the reverse,
It's not supposed to be this. Someone just asked a question, that was why I typed this. So initially our reverse was 0. No, this will be wrong. This should be this. The reverse will go into this. Then this one will now hold the original. Does this make sense? I realize that the other one will be wrong. This makes sense to me than the other one. Because here was the original, but that shouldn't contain the original. The original, after flowing it, then that would not be the original. Let's say if I was having this, let's see 0.1. If I flow it, then the 0.1 will go. Then this will now be my original number I want to take the modulo on. So this is something that I'll get. Here will be 0, something like this. So this is it. Now, one other thing we have to look at is, if you are going this process, you will lose the original. Do we get it? You will lose the original value you started with. Because when you divide and you flow, you are going to replace the original value. So by the time you end, you've lost track of this original number you started with. So in that, you need to make a backup first. That number is going through a loop, and then it will be replaced. So you will lose the original. So in that case, you need to make a backup first. So I'll have let's see, original backup. Then the brother will go through the loop. But when I'm done, I'll compare the original, the backup, the copy of the original. This is because the original will go through the loop and we'll be replacing the content. Finally, it will be somewhere 1 or 0. So you lose track of the original value. That's why right at the beginning you make a copy and then keep that one. Now let's see how it's going to shame us. So okay, so now we can output a message to that effect. Then you see echo. Then we have is P, so else echo is not palindrome. So we now have this, and then you can test it somewhere here. It's not palindrome. Don't fool us. Let's see. 1 2 1 1 2 1. Hey, it's lying. So let's isn't it? We know it's palindrome. I tell you that it's not palindrome, so it's lying. So let's see what is wrong. So the value we want to get in our reverse is the after the modulo. Yeah, so you see we don't even have the modulo sign anywhere here. So what I want to put in this is 10, this one. Okay. You see? So this is what I want to put inside this. So but this one, okay, so I'll have this one reverse times 10 plus this to give you this, then this floor, the original will be this. Yes, let me see. Yeah, it's working. Hey, or because this has to start with 0, so 1 2 1. What is wrong? Let's go through. First, the number modulo 10. You are going to put it inside a reverse. Is it? You said, do we really need it? Yes, because this one is going through a loop. And we are replacing its content by dividing the values and throwing some away. So by the time we finish, this one will lose the original value it started with. So there wasn't. Okay, the original backup should not be 0. Yeah, it should be this, right? Okay, the original backup should be this. Now after the reverse, let me say this 3 and then let's say 3 this should be wrong. Yeah, so I think it works. Let's get sample of these numbers. 1 1 1 1 2 1. These are all examples. I want a big value. Okay, so let's see this one. We have this. We have this. Oh, please tell me it is all. Yeah, so it's so that is it. That is, yes. Can I over like the whole thing is I have a number. I want to see if I read it from any side, I'll get the same. That is all I want to do. So to do that, I'll need this while loop. I'm not using for because this is not a string. If it's a string, I can index it and I'll know the index of the last one. But this is an integer value. You get it? So I don't know the count. And that is why I use the while, because I don't know. So now there are 3 key things you have to do to achieve this. Once you get those 3 things, the next is just to put it in your loop. So these are the 3 things you'll be doing. 1, you want to get this last number. Are you okay? And put it in an array, in an integer. We are not using array. We are using integer. So if I have, let me see, n. So my first number, I'll pick this. You get it? Then I'll put it inside this. So I'm picturing the array syntax, but I'm not using the array. I just wanted to get it. So this is it. It will come into it. Are we okay? Now, how do I get the next one? That means I have to throw away this one. And how do I throw away that last one? That is when I divide this by 10. And I throw away the decimal part. Then in that case, I've thrown away this. Because when I divide by 10, I'll get this. And then I'll throw away the decimal part, and I'll get this. Then I'll go over again. How did I get this? That is the last number. How did I get the last number? You will get it by taking modulo 10 of this. If you take modulo 10 of this, you get the last number, which is 1. So how we got this one was modulo 10 of this. This modulo 10. That is what gave us the 1. Now we don't want to take modulo 10 of this same value again. We need the 6. So we take away this. And how do we take away that? We take that one out by dividing our value by 10 and then flooring it. By floor, divide it by 10, and that will give us this if we divide by 10. And to do away with this part, finally, you have to floor this one. It's like you have to trim the decimal part away. Then your number will now be this. This one will go. Then you start again. Do we need this? Listen, the next number is 6. So I need this 6 to come here. You get it? I need this 6 there. How do I get it? I need to do modulo 10 again. And that will give me this 6. So when this 6 comes here, then this one, this time I don't need the 6 again. I need the 4. How do I do away with the 6? I have to take divided by 10 of this and floor. And if you floor, it will throw away this part. And then you have this. That is the third loop. Then I'll start again. I need this 4. How do I get it? I need to take modulo 10 of the number. I'll get this 4. Now, then I'll bring my 4 here. Now, when I'm done, is this. How do I throw away? What do I need to do to throw away this so that I will now get access to the 6? To do that, I'll divide by 10, and that will give me 16.4. And when I floor it, that part will go away. I'll have 16. So that is just what you'll be doing. You take modulo 10 of the number, then that is what will give you the last digit. Because it's not an array, that's why we are not using index. So you take modulo 10 of the number, you get the last one.
Yes, sir.
After getting the last one, you also want to get the last but 1. And how do you achieve the last but 1? You have to divide it by 10 and floor it to throw away the decimal part. So that is just what has to be in a loop. And that's all. Once it gets to 0, the condition you set, then that means your items will have been arranged this way. The first, the 6, the 4, and then the 6 will come again, and then finally 1 will come. This is what you'll be having in your reverse. But remember, this thing you are doing here is a variable, so it will not be arranged this way for you. It will be added. So it will be 1 plus, this is 10, 16, 17, 18. Instead of having this, your value will be 18 here, because it's variable. So if you are looping, the variable will be adding the modulos to the original ones you got. So if you compare it, they will not match. And that is where we had to, before you bring it, multiply what you have by 10. That means you've increased the, we have the tens once, so you've increased to another stage before you add. For example, I was having 1. This is the 1 first came. If I want to add 6, it will be 7. But that's not what I want. I want 1, 6. So what do? I'll multiply the 1 by 10. You get it? Before I'll add the 6. So 1 times 10 will be 10. Plus 6. Then I'll get the 16. So then that here will be 16. The next stage, I'm bringing 4. This is a variable. So it will add the 4 to the 16 to make it 20. But this is not what I want. I want 164. So what I will do is the 16 there, I'll multiply it by 10. Then I'll get 160. So when I get 160, before I add my 4, then I'll get 164. It's like you are just fooling the machine. So that is just how you have to loop it, because it's a variable. So anytime you bring it to add it, so you have to use some small mathematics to be increasing your tens, ones, and other things. So that is it. Which version worked? Which version worked? Which version worked?
So it means the place you commented out is out.
This part.
Yeah, that part. Now you can.
Yes, yeah, this should go away. Yeah, this should go away. And we did this backup because after first loop, the original is this. After first loop, it will be this. After, the original will now be this.
Yeah.
After another loop, the original will now hold only 164. After another loop, the original will now hold 16 by virtue of this division we are doing here. And then after the last one, the original will now be just 1. So when you come here and you check it against the original is just holding the value 1. So that is why we first of all did a backup of our original before we started the work we are doing. I know. Let's please try this at home. This one. Question 12 is in those I sent in the Slack. Question 12. Let's try it before tomorrow. And 13, the 13 is simple. So at least. Let's do the 12 and 13 at home. 12 and 13. Okay. God willing, God willing. That thing is your own thinking, you know, like.
And how would you think?
No! You see, the thing is, you will not know the flow. But the concept of integer division should be in your mind. You get it? That if you divide a number by another number.
Look, when I said we should do it, when I said that, I saw the floor, like the thing was working, I copied the code and it was working, the floor and
See something here.
I'm not
really serious. I was just assessing. May I finish? You know talk. I push give her a long time. Okay, check. So what happens if you put original here? Put there and see. Kau nak awak control sama Esna. Charlie, question me and come in, but I come with you. Oh, okay. So if you don't need a backup, wow. The whole thing is inside the loop, we are doing replacement. Is it the original? Like, what's this is the original? It's the original. And the reverse also now. What the loop we are called reverse. So this second one is also changing the original. After every loop, this will be reduced by 1 and it will be reassigned to the original.
My phone got missing.
Yeah, it's a pew. It's a big weird, yeah.
No. I'm in class.
Like no matter how you tell me to knock out.
No more challenge. I said this weekend. I spent almost 8 hours on this sound giving sound and even now myself. Because he said, when you answer, no, I will push my like I was so frustrated, I'm doing my should try that rest challenge the way I'm so frustrated. Like you see, they are getting the answer. But you say, be like from this level. Challenge now.
My sister, what do we do?
Yeah. Still, can you start at the end? Why did you close it?
Which I thought. Oh, you couldn't finish it. This is you have finished somewhere like 30 minutes.
Because we started before 2. Today, we started before 2 p.m. Yes.
Are you done?
Are you done with the assignment you gave?
He said you should go to sit down.
And then you come back and say you've done it. Meanwhile, you've not touched it.
I tried, but I couldn't, so I deleted everything.
Why should you delete it?
Let me finish talking. So I've done like, let's do class.
Okay,
No, even it's not because
oh, yeah.
this weekend is
We have
I don't have
classes.
Yeah.
Saturday,
Sunday.
So I check my movements for weekends.
Second Friday.
Some are like yesterday, I was at tech, but I had to escort my sister. And my life was
Yeah, even tomorrow. You don't have enough time. I want us to do
of course, everything they have to go to from scratch.
From scratch. So let's make it weekends. Saturday or Sunday. So means this weekend I'm free.
I'll manage and make it this weekend.
And the 2 days, I'm sure we can play the Sunday.
Friday, nah. After washing, then I go to work.
Where do you stay?
Last day I did
This one is where I One week we are going to display yours first. Don't come and tell me this one. Yeah, the second one. You come and project yours. It's very simple. You tell me you kill it. You know you kill it. They are not killed. This one is easy.
Don't you see here?
Jelly, this one you'll be able to do it, right? The 30. Listen, if you are given 6, you understand? 6 factorial is 720. Now you would rather be given 7, and they will ask you which number was it factorial, right? There is a factorial again, exclamation mark. So yeah, if I say 6 factorial is 1 times 2 times 3 times 4 times 5 times 6, or is it minus 1?
No, times can be time.
No, I want to know if you have to times up to 6 or have to times up to 5.
It's times 6 itself.
So that will give you 7 points. But now you want to reverse it. If I had a 7 point, what number was multiplied by 1 by 2 by 3 by 4 by 8 7?
The problem is how do you get the factorial of 6?
Let's
Oh yeah, no, what means review?
6 was. I hear. Tomorrow we go through. Tomorrow. 6 factorial is 7. What it means is, what it means is 6. So you start from 1 times 2 times 3 times 4
If
times
it
5
hits that
times 6.
particular number,
Yeah, up to 6. That's the number. If I say 10 factorial, meaning 1 times 2 times 3 times 4 times 5 times 6 times 7 times 8
so
times 9
in the function, you would multiply. Index.
you'll be multiplied by the index. You know the index will keep you. If I say 10 factorial, you are multiplying from 1. Not 0. 10. Yes.
So you multiply
You'll be multiplied.
so that doesn't take 10 times 9 times 8 times 7.
Yeah, if you reverse it, that is
So
it.
1 factorial again. But you know if you do this thing. A shock will serious.
This time you want the ring. You'll be giving the 7 to the index. Yeah, just give it a try. If you give it a try, you know what it is. Yes. Idea programmer. Come for yours. Yes. Idea, come for yours. 14. Question 14. Go to that. I say it's in the Slack. Go and check it. 14. Yes.
That's my question.
No, just do that one. Salam. Salam. You go and do this one again. Oh.
This one, I would.
Yes, tomorrow I expect the answer. But which one did I give you? I gave Abdul Basit, come for your assignment.
Me, after we see more, I came in there and started with the listen, looping at the W3 on. So it was there that I started like, me understand, we say in Takra, but me here now, the time, they are mountains. And you do that when I go out, not me person work, I was working one of the persons on the paper. No, my year said CSS, is it C++, yes. Before I will type in it, I want to see if I get a particular solution. And I say, one of the persons, I just pick some of the persons.
Okay.
The old man till I started.
Okay, that's fine.
They say, why is serious? Say, apply this school.
Yeah.
But the person said, because I didn't do EMAS, and because I'm also converting to IT.
What did they say?
They were saying that with respect to my grade and of course now maybe they will be doing so much in calculus and those.
What course?
IT management information system.
And they will be doing calculus.
A whole some new baby.
Which school?
One more school needed by yesterday he himself and the wife they called.
Because I mean, what I know, even if you are going to do IT as the.
Hello, madam. Good evening.
Malik, I will expect your answer. I want us to finish the questions tomorrow. So you will take that one.
And no, what I did, I called my sister and she gave me the figures. So when I go to school, me do fear, I met from the figures now. This is a cookie. Oh, stuff in my head. So unless I get to the house, then I'll just do
Razak, do 18. Question 18. Yeah, do it. No, I didn't say you should come. I said if you go home, do question 18. You understand if you read it.
I just read it.
No, you didn't read everything. You just read some part.
Don't get scared. It's simple. Just a
for example, if the first two terms of the series is 0 and 1, the next third term is obtained by adding the two preceding terms, first and second.
Like if you have one, if they tell you you are starting with 4 and 5, you understand? That means the first number is 4, the second number is 5, the third number is 4 plus 5. You see?
Because you are starting with 4 and 5.
Yes, if I'm starting with, let's use small numbers. I'm starting with 1 and 2. My first number is 1, second number is 2. So my third number will be the sum of the two previous numbers.
So, okay.
You understand? That will be 1 and 2. So my third number will be 3. Then my fourth number will be 2 plus 3. The last two, so that is how you will generate. Yes, series.
You know what I saw? I thought it was like some TV
Hey! Okay.
I know you never come to the movie. Oh, the meeting and
So that's
seriously come and inspire.
question 18.
was trying to do, like.
I don't know, display my account. Said, it's just a big word. Don't get scared.
I said, don't get scared. This.
Simple.
This one, but.
No, Salam is doing this.
No, I don't do it.
You see, yeah.
But I'm to me, I may have figured out.
How do you really, the value is going to me is like. I don't know, what's it? We will keep on my empty. Because
Go and write a function. What is 4? Which one is there?
You can do all.
Yes, 14. 14. Mansura, you should also do 14. You write your name. Who? You are not Mansura. You are Mansura. I know your name. And I know little Adia. I should do the last. Call Abdallah for me. Okay, tell him to do 19. Tomorrow, those things I could get. The last one.
Plus the ones you said we should do. Or I should do that one.
No, do that one.
19 plus number 30.
No, 30. 30. Which one is yours?
You said 30.
30 is cheap.
It's cheap.
30. No, I didn't say 30.
You said 30. Not the Aula.
There's no 20. And the 20 is the hard one. Okay, no, this is what I will do. You go and do 19.
So you let's go back. Give me ATM. Give me ATM.
ATM. No, we are not at ATM. Go and do 19. This one is simple. 19. You get it? Go and do the 19.
Well, I'm going to get it down.
This one, I don't need data. Take screenshot. You can take screenshot.
Fibonacci.
Plenty days.
So I will do
This one is not you alone. You Okay. We are also packing. I want someone to do look, Salam, add this to yours. The other one I put in the Slack. The one I said I copied from Facebook. This one. Do it. Do this one too. Yeah? Don't worry. Okay, that's fine.